What's up everyone on the internet? Thank you for making this video party. I'm so excited to upload this one for you guys because for this video we'll be taking a look at the sequel to one of my top 10 favorite animes of all time, and that would be Zombieland Saga Revenge. If you remember, about a year ago, I actually did a video where I talked about the first season of Zombieland Saga. By the way, be sure to check out that video in the description down below, and don't forget to hit that like button. So Zombieland Saga Revenge was released back in April this year and takes place sometime after the events of the first season, where we see a zombie idol group Franchushu currently taking a break from the music business. Why? Because they're currently neck deep in debt. More specifically, they owe a concert venue about 20 million yen, which is about 20 grand US dollars. At the start of the season, we find out that after a bombshell concert, the girls of Franchushu need to make up that money in order to get back into the music business. All the while, Kotaro, their manager, is drinking like there's no tomorrow. Makes sense that he goes through sort of self-punishment, given that it was his pride that made the band hit rock bottom in the first place. But hey, you know what they say, whatever doesn't kill you makes you stronger. Well, since they're zombies, they don't have to worry about dying twice. But anyway, throughout the season, we watch the girls of Franchushu make their comeback as each and every member of the group does their part into helping the band get back into the spotlight. More specifically, getting their revenge on Saga. Hence why the word revenge is in the title. To put it in perspective, most of the girls of Franchushu are pretty much like,
I'm getting revenge, you're getting revenge, and what do you want revenge?
I'm undecided.
One of the things that I love about the series is that throughout the course of the show, we get to know a little more about each of these girls. While Zombieland Saga talks about how these girls died, Zombieland Saga Revenge talks about how they lived. Two of the best examples in this season is where we see that this show can not only make you laugh, but also make you feel emotional. Early on in the season, we see Saki, the biker girl of the group, just break down when she realizes that she's never gonna grow into a woman. When she sees the curse of being a zombie, it breaks her undead heart, knowing that there are things in life that she's never gonna experience, like falling in love and getting to wear a wedding dress. If I remember correctly, I think that was the scene that made most of the voice actresses cry when they were recording these episodes. Another great moment is when we finally get to learn more about Yugiri's past, where we see that she was at the start of the Saga Prefecture. And when you see the tragic life she lived and how she died, you see how this show knows how to switch gears to go from a funny idol anime to a very dramatic story about preserving a dream that seems impossible. Also, her story arc also gives us some info on how these girls came to life in the first place and what does it truly mean to save Saga. But anyway, aside from the emotional storytelling, let's talk about how this anime got a major upgrade in animation. Oh my god, just by looking at the first episode alone, you can tell that this anime got some serious budget when you see how crisp and clean the animation is drawn out. To put in perspective, season 1 felt like it was a 1080 HD, while season 2 is at 4K HD. The anime also makes good use of its 3D animation by blending it together with its 2D animation, which flows very smoothly during several of the concert scenes. And I gotta tell you, the 3D animation is pretty dang good. It just goes to show you that the studio believed in this series and gave it the royal treatment when you see how the budget was very well spent on the animation. Another thing that I also enjoyed was obviously the music. One of the highlights of Zombieland Saga was the soundtrack. No joke, as soon as the album dropped, I immediately started downloading songs that were from season 1. Oh my god, I was thrilled to see Yugiri perform her song in Zombieland Saga Revenge, given that it was never performed in season 1 of Zombieland Saga, and yet it's still on Franchushu's first album. But anyway, back to season 2, I'm very happy to see that the story not only gave us more insight on these girls, but it also gives us a chance to hear new songs dedicated to each and every member of Franchushu. And if I had to pick my favorite song from this season, it would have to be Junko's song. At one point, the anime shows us that while Junko was alive, she was a solo singer that was very comfortable with singing gentle songs. It isn't until at one point she's put in charge of the group, and that is when we see this very soft, gentle singer crank up the volume and play some hard rock. Oh my god, watching her cut loose and shred on that electric guitar, holy crap, my blood was pumping. Another great song that also gets me very excited is when we see the youngest member of Franchushu, Lily, throw a little bit of hip hop that just makes you want to bounce off the walls. I mean, her song is so catchy and energetic that eventually it does catch on and become a viral trend for Franchushu. So one could say that Franchushu is the queen of anime idol groups. I know that's a big statement, but when you look at the songs from both seasons, you can see how each of these girls brings a different kind of flavor to Franchushu. While Junko brings in some hard rock to the table, Lily sprinkles in a little bit of hip hop for dessert, and Yugiri gives us a taste of some classy music to quench our thirst. It just shows you that Franchushu isn't your typical idol group, so I cannot wait for their new album to drop. Moving on to the last thing that I liked, saying that this show is funny would be an understatement. I mean, the jokes that this season pulls off are just as funny as the first season. Not only did we get to watch these girls go through some wacky adventures that Kotaro puts them through, but we also get to see that hiding the fact that the zombies is starting to get a little more tough than before. Especially when there's one episode dedicated to the legendary Tai Yamada, and oh my god, that may be the funniest episode of Zombieland Saga Revenge. Because throughout that particular episode, we see Tai go off on her own adventure and try her best to hide the fact that she's a zombie. To some degree. I mean, there were parts throughout that episode where I thought her cover was gonna get blown. That is until we get closer to the finale. Holy crap, at one point I literally gasped when I saw a bombshell drop in episode 11. Because one of the things that season 1 promised at the end of that finale is that at some point people are gonna recognize who these girls are. And that's where we see this one reporter soon put the pieces together and figure out that the girls of Franchu's shoes are zombies. So to see that aspect of the story played throughout the entire season, you can tell that the secret behind Franchu's shoe is getting hard to hide, which also adds a little bit of suspense to the story. So overall, I love Zombieland Saga Revenge. To see that it's been 3 years since we saw the first season, I can honestly say that the wait was worth it. Not only do we get more music and more humor, but most importantly, we get more story from Zombieland Saga Revenge. And after watching this season, I can firmly plant this into the ground and say that Zombieland Saga will forever be one of my top 10 favorite anime of all time. So if you're looking to have a good time with a very entertaining anime, I suggest you watch Zombieland Saga and Zombieland Saga Revenge. And with only 12 episodes, it's pretty easy to binge through. So come on, join in on some of Franchu's fun. Well, that's gonna do it for this video, guys. That was my overall review for Zombieland Saga Revenge. If you like what you saw, click the subscribe button so you can get the latest updates from this channel. I'll see you next time with a brand new video. Bye-bye.